Diamond in the Sky is a full-length feature film, 2 hours. It's going to be screened in Independence A right now at 1 o'clock. It's a feature-length 2-hour film, and it does have some adult themes and suggestive language. Okay, so if we have any children in there, please go with parental guidance. Thank you.
They had asked me to fix up the 2 scripts that were written and then take over the book. I spent a week yelling at them that they could not publish this comic book, that their offices would be burned to the ground and I'd be helping. Finally, I came up with a question short enough for them to comprehend. I said, do you really want your first black superhero to be a white bigot? I was given 3 weeks to create a new character. This was not work for hire, I was not on staff, it was a partnership between DC Comics and myself, and I decided to put in everything that, all my dissatisfactions with previous characters I wanted to address. So he's a school teacher, which is something every kid knows. He's a very moral man. I describe him as a Northern Liberal Baptist, meaning that he's conservative, but he doesn't have any problems with the usual religious hot-button issues. And he's a guy who,
they got a pretty big setup here.
Who, in both of his identities, he, serves the community. He became Black Lightning because when he was opposing the gangs as a school teacher, one of his kids got hurt and killed. So he's exactly what I want a superhero to be. He's down to earth, he's based in a real situation, and he's a good guy. He's not perfect, but he's always out there trying to do the right thing, no matter what the cost to himself or his happiness.
Did you see the new year 1 that they have out now?
I have seen it. I will not read it until I have a reason to. This should not be taken as a slam on either Jen Van Meter, who's a terrific writer, or Cully Hammer, who's a terrific artist. It has everything to do with the fact that DC has never lived up to its agreements with me. And in this case, when the book was first conceived, the idea of doing a year 1, editorial director Dan DiDio told them that they could not hire me to write the book. I have been blacklisted by DC Comics ever since I was fired off the 2nd series unfairly and didn't keep quiet about it. I've had to fight for every penny they've ever given me. They've ever paid me, I should say. They didn't give me anything. And I'm continuing to fight them to get my money. So, if the situation comes around where I am once again asked to write Black Lightning, I will of course read that miniseries and incorporate it into what I do. But until that happens, I have no intention of reading the miniseries.
Is there anything that you're working on?
I've just finished writing a massive book called 1,000 Comic Books You Must Read, which will be out in November. It is a book featuring 1,000 comic book covers from Action Comics #1 to 2008, with my commentary on each one of the comics, plus introductions to each decade, giving you kind of the history of the comics industry. It comes out in November. I do some writing for my buddy Tom Baddick on his Crankshaft and Funky Winkerbean strips. And now that my book is done, I'm going to be looking for other things to do. I have a very long bucket list. Because I've had enough health scares over the years that I don't want to put this stuff off anymore. So I have a bucket list of projects I want to do. Hopefully I will find people to publish them. As for Black Lightning, DC has only to pick up a phone and I would happily, gladly write Black Lightning again. It is the work of which I am most proud.
So where can we contact you or see your work or read?
You can read me every month in the Comics Buyer's Guide, where I am their lead reviewer. I do a column called Tony's Tips. You can find me online at something called Tony's Online Tips, which is a Monday through Friday column of reviews and commentary. Attached to that website is a message board with some of the nicest, most intelligent and fun people you'd ever meet. And when the new book comes out, we'll also be starting a website specifically for people to discuss that book, to tell me that I'm an idiot for leaving out this book. which I'll be one of the people telling me I'm an idiot because I know I left out some good stuff. But when you're dealing with that many comics, there were great books that I simply forgot about.
Right. Okay, so thank you for the interview. And
thank you.
Contact you. This is the show.
Thanks once again, Tony, for the interview. For more Tony and his online tips, you can visit him at worldfamouscomics.com/Tony/